Hare Krishna friends, today we are going to see one of the very exciting stories. This is the story about the Onam festival in Kerala or Vaman Jayanti across the world. Bali Chakravarti, who happened to be a great devotee of Vishnu, Mahavishnu, and also Mata Laxmi. Mata Laxmi had a great blessing on him. Okay, when you hear the story, you will know it's very interesting. Maharaj Bali comes in a Ashur or demonic lineage, who happened to be the grandson of the biggest Vishnu devotee ever walked on this universe, Prahlad Maharaj, and great grandson of one of the biggest demons ever faced, who was killed by Bhagwan Vishnu during the Narasingha Avadar to protect and save Prahlad, the Hiranyakasipu. This is Maharaj Bali, and there is an interesting story that goes behind how Maharaj Bali was just a rat in the previous birth who was living in the Shivji Mandir. You know, a lot of pigeons and rats lives in Hindu temples. You know that, right? And one day, the Shivji temple's lamp was about to be switched off because nobody was there, the pujari was out, and because somebody has to lift the wick up to make the lamp glow, continue glowing. It had the oil, but somebody has to lift the wick up. And guess what? As a rat, Maharaj Bali in that birth, without knowing all these things, with the tail, when he was crisscrossing the temple, he just, his tail touched the lamp wick and it started to glow better as it moved up. Because of the blessing that he got during that day, he ended up coming as Maharaj Bali in this birth. And guess what? Not only he was Maharaj Bali, he was grandson of the biggest Vishnu devotee, Maharaj Prahlad. And not only that, he is the one who is going to have darshan of Mahavishnu and Mahalakshmi. Can you believe this? All these things, how this rat became so lucky just because it lifted the wick up in the Shivji Mandir and made the lamp to light. Folks, I'm saying you, this story says us the importance of lighting the lamp in our home, in our puja room, in our temples. It's a very important thing. You will be blessed abundantly, no questions about it. Okay? And Maharaj Bali was a biggest giver. He was a Mahadani, and he had a special blessing of Mahalakshmi. In fact, Mahalakshmi goes to say that instead of me going and distributing the wealth to everybody, it is easy for me to give it to Bali, Maharaj Bali, and he will distribute it to everybody on behalf of me, she says. And Mahalakshmi calls Maharaj Bali dearest of the dearest. Can you believe that? Okay? And so he had enormous blessings of Mahavishnu and Mahalakshmi Mata. And in that time, he was very upset with Devatas because they happened to kill his dad, who was the son of Prahlad. Okay? For no reasons at all. And no reasons at all. So he goes and conquers the Devalok with the magic power he got from his Ashura Guru, that is demonic Guru Sukracharya. And he goes and wins them and whips them up, and he captures the Devalok, and he captures the universe, and guess what? He puts an order. Nobody can give shelter to Devatas. Nobody can do Homa Arkyam for Navagrahas. He puts an order. And so all the pujas that was happening, all the offering that was happening for Devatas were stopped. And if anybody happened to give it, he became so violent that he cut off their head. He killed them mercilessly. And this is the person, the Maharaj Bali was the person who was walking in the path of Dharma, showed by his granddad, Prahalad. But he changes a bit with the wrong guidance of his guru. Happened to be the Shukracharya, who had his own personal enmity, which he was taking revenge using his Shishya. In this case, it was Maharaj Bali. So all the Devatas go and cry to Bhagwan Vishnu and says, you have to kill Maharaj Bali. He is not allowing us to even eat a single food. He has stopped our offering completely. He has stopped our yajnas completely. He has stopped our pujas completely, and he should not live in the world anymore, says the Devatas. But Bhagwan Vishnu says, no. You know what? You guys were messing up with him in a wrong way, because you killed his dad for no reason. Even though, see, Maharaj Prahlad was so kind to you, but you were not kind to his family. Okay? But having said that, I will certainly punish Maharaj Bali, because he is going in a wrong path, and as a dearest of the dearest to Mata Laxmi, one cannot do this. So he need to be taught a lesson for sure, says Mahavishnu. To teach him a lesson, Bhagwan Mahavishnu takes the avatar of Vaman, Brahmin fellow who comes there very short but cute. When somebody sees him, they will keep on seeing him, such a beautiful face. Okay, with that he is coming as a young boy. And at that time, Maharaj Bali, under the guidance of Shukracharya, Guru Shukracharya, was doing Ashwamedha Yaga. See, Ashwamedha Yaga means you are doing the puja with a horse. Ashwam means horse, and that makes somebody a Chakravarti. And in our Sanatana Dharma, Ashwa Puja, that is a horse puja, has a great significance, and that brings a lot of wealth to the person. Okay, so that is Ashwa Puja. Okay, so he was doing Ashwamedha Yaga. Okay, and during that Yaga, when he was about to complete, a little young Vaman comes there and says, Bhavadi Bhikshan Dehi, means he is asking for Bhiksha. So Maharaj Bali wants to get up, and his guru says, don't get up, you are going to finish the Yaga. If you get up in the middle, you may lose the fruits that comes with the Yaga. Okay, so but now, so he sits down. Then Vaman Bhagwan calls again louder, Bhavadi Bhikshan Dehi. So now he was about to get up and start again. Third time he was about to start with louder, hey Maharaj, he says. When he was supposed to say Bhavadi Bhikshan Dehi, Maharaj Bali got up. He says, Guruji, forgive me, because, in Maharaj Bali's home, somebody comes in front of me and asks for dan 3 times, and I have some important work for me that I cannot give them a dan, and it is shame on me, he says. I shall go no matter what I lose, what I gain, nothing seeing at this time. I am going to, please, he runs to Vaman Devata. And guess what? Guru Shukracharya sees with his divya that the person who came here in the form of Vaman avatar is none other than Vishnu Bhagavan himself. So he runs behind Maharaj Bali and says, hey Bali, don't give anything to this little fellow. Don't give anything, he says. Maharaj Bali says, why Guruji? He started asking, why Guruji? And Vaman Devata says by the time, hey Maharaj, if you don't want to give, please let me know. I won't disturb you. I will go to the next door, whomever has a good heart of giving me some dan. Maharaj Bali says, please, I promise you, I give you. Don't ever take one more step. Stand here. Don't leave me and go. Please don't make me feel shameful, because you came to my place for dan, and I will never let you go empty-handed, he says. Maharaj Bali asks Bhagawan Vaman, without knowing who he is asking, hey Vaman Devata, you came all the way, and you blessed me by asking a dan at my place. Now say me what I should give you. Vaman says, Bhagawan Vaman says, all I need, Maharaj, is only 3 feet land. 3 feet? Maharaj Bali couldn't believe this. You mean 3 feet? What will you do with the 3 feet? He asked. Bhagwan Vaman says in response, hey Maharaj Bali, I heard that Maharaj Bali never asks someone who he is or she is, who is asking for dan and embarrass them, and also never ask what they will do with the dan. I heard about it and I came to your place, but I don't feel that you are that way. Then Maharaj Bali with the folded hand says, no, Vaman Devata, please don't mistake me for my question. I am surprised. You came to the ocean and you are asking about a drop of water. Asking for 3 feet land? How come? What will you do with that? You can ask more, by which I can give you and I can feel proud of giving to you, he says. Bhagwan Vaman says, I am not here to make you feel proud of what you are giving. I am here to ask for a dan what I need. If you can give me 3 feet. 3 feet, only 3 feet, okay, take it, he says. Bhagwan Vaman says, Maharaj Bali, before I take your dan, you have to give me a promise by water arkyam. See, we always do dan or any good things in witness of our Panjabhutas, water or Agni especially. Guru Sukracharya says, Bali never give. This man is Vishnu. He is not here to please you. He is not here to give you darshan. He is here to punish you, he says. Maharaj Bali couldn't believe his fate, good fate. He says, Guruji, you mean to say Bhagavan Vishnu himself, who is the Annadata of the world, who supplies the food for the world, is here at my place asking for something? Oh my God, I became a Danyavan, he says. How fortunate I am, says Maharaj Bali. And he is going to give the Pani Arkyam. But Sukracharya was not happy because he knows by doing this he will lose it all. So in the Pani Arkyam kittle, he goes and sits like a fly and blocks the water coming out, and Bhagwan Vaman takes a little bit of grass and pokes it in the eye and makes him to run away. Okay, then the dan was given with the water arkyam to Bhagwan Vaman. And as soon as he gave it, as soon as the dan was given with the water arkyam, size of Vaman grew, who was just at 2 to 3 feet when he came. Now all of a sudden his feet was in Bhatal and his head was above the heavens. Okay? And he was growing like crazy. And guess what? With the first measure of his feet, he measured the entire world, the entire universe he measured. Okay? With the second feet, he lifted his second feet. You would have, this is Ulagalanda Perumal. He takes the Trivikrama route. And with the first feet, he finishes measuring the entire universe. With the second feet, he lifts the feet up and measures the sun, all the suns, moons, everything, all the lokas, everything is measured. Now, he has to put the third feet. Now, Bhagawan Vaman says, hey Maharaj Bali, now I have measured all the universe and the suns and the moons, everything in the 2 feet. Now I have no place that you can climb yourself to put my third feet. Now if you say me, I will forgive you, you don't need to give me. But Maharaj Bali says, with the folded hands, he kneels down in front of Bhagwan Vaman and says, hey Bhagavan, you know what, please don't make me feel shy. I promised you 3 feet. When you asked me, I promised you 3 feet, and now also 3 feet is 3 feet. It can never become 2 feet. You can put your third feet on something that still I can call mine, he says. Bhagwan Vaman was surprised. What is yours? I have measured your entire kingdom, suns, moons, everything. Now, what is still you can call yours, he says. Hey Bhagwan Vishnu, every human being still calls head as their head. So, my head is on your feet. You can put your third feet on my head and liberate me from all the sins I have done and make me the dearest of the dearest to you and Mata Laxmi, says Maharaj Bali. So, on his request, Bhagwan Vaman puts the third feet on the head of Bali Chakravarti and takes him to Patal, where he gets the darshan of Vishnu Bhagwan and Mata Laxmi themselves, and they say how pleased they are with him and how bigger Dani he is, how his name will be always alive in the world, like his granddaddy, Prahalad. They say, and also teach him a lesson. You know what? You have been following the Dharma and doing all the right things, like your granddad. But all of a sudden, we saw you changing the path towards Hiranyakasipu's way of living. That's why we have to come here and teach you a lesson, And now you can go back and rule your kingdom. Now you can ask me anything you want, they say. At that time, Maharaj Bali says, his people loved him. His people loved him because there was no drought in his kingdom. Always the kingdom was greenery and people were prosperous, and there was nobody in his kingdom who were longing for anything. He was the biggest of the biggest donor, giver. Okay? And so, on the request of Maharaj Bali, Vishnu Bhagavan and Mata Laxmi grant him one day every year. He will be the king of the universe. Okay? And he will return to his kingdom. Okay? And meet his subjects and bless them and be a king of the universe, says Bhagavan, Vishnu and Mata. And they also say, you will be always with us, and whenever you think of us, we will be in front of you. Okay? He gets showered with all the blessings and the vardhans, wishes. Okay? And now, that one day is where the Onam festival comes. Okay? And also the Vaman Jayanti, because Vaman Bhagavan comes and give the salvation and liberation to Maharaj Bali. That is why it is called as Vaman Jayanti or Onam function. And Onam is the day Maharaj Bali returns to see his subjects, and people welcome him, their dear king, with great celebration. That is the Onam festival or Vaman Jayanti. Onam celebration happens for 10 days. Okay? On the 10th day is a real big Onam function. During this time, people wake up early in the morning and take shower, go to temple. They put a beautiful rangoli with the flowers. A grand procession marks the start of Onam celebration also. Okay? Followed by prayers. It's a lot of competition happens for floral rangoli, where people begin buying new clothes, jewelries and gifts, and housewives and women visit the grocery shops to stock up the ingredients to make an elaborate Onam meal. Snake boat race kick off across the state in Kerala at this time. Nowadays, people make so much of beautiful rangolis. It's unbelievable with the flower designs. It's a thing to watch. And this is the tourist season where people come to watch these things. This is also the time it is believed that Maharaj Bali visits each and every home of his subjects. So the homes in Kerala become spick and span. They are clean, okay? And great, fantastic, huge vegetarian meal prepared to welcome Maharaj Bali to their home and thank Vaman Devata to allow that one day to let Mahabali to come to the homes of the subjects. Let's wish each and everyone happy Thiruonam and also Vaman Jayanti. Hare Krishna, Jai Vaman Dev, Jai Maharaj Bali.